and say, no, they didn't like it, or tell us what you did. We're just going live on Facebook right now.
So I asked, can I follow up? One said, they were going through some stuff at this time and they would get back with me. So another one said she was so busy and she was getting married this week. And so I said, well, I said, do you have your jewelry for the wedding? And she said, yeah, I have my jewelry. And I said, well, I'm going to send you something anyway. I said, can I follow back up with you in about a week and a half? And she said, yeah.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Awesome. What was the first one? Did you say again? What did she say?
She said that it just wasn't the right time, that she was going through a lot right now. And but she definitely enjoyed the video. I sent her y'all's presentation of the 20 minutes. That's what I found. So I sent her that. She said she enjoyed it and she's definitely interested, but now it's just not a good time for her.
Gotcha.
Perfect.
Question about that, or an idea that I've heard that Eric Worre's talked about and other kind of salespeople is ask a follow-up question and just say, hey, okay, I get that it's not the right time and I don't want to pressure you. Okay. I don't want to push you here. But let's just say it was the perfect time for you. Like how interested on a scale of 1 to 10 are you to sign up right now? If everything was perfect.
Okay.
Then if she's really interested or not, or on the level. It's like, oh, well, I'm probably at a 7 or 8. Okay. Then okay, well, what would get you to a 10? Then what else is really behind it. And then when she is ready, you can address that. Like, oh, well, I just don't know about this whole live thing. Okay, let's talk through that. If we could come up with a plan together so we could help you sell the jewelry without going live, would you be interested in that? Yeah, that would make me feel way better. Okay, awesome. Then you can really uncover what's going on rather than sometimes we just put up a front, right? It's easy to put up a front and be like, oh yeah, to be nice. We like to be nice to each other. Oh yeah, the video is nice. Like, yeah, I'm interested, just not right now, right?
Okay.
Okay. Then you can qualify them and kind of be like, okay, are they really interested? And if they are interested, I know how to address that and how to help them out in the future when they're less stressed. Does that make sense?
And they might say on a scale of 1 to 10, they might say, well, really 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Then don't waste your time.
Yeah. And then even at a 1 or a 2, be like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Like, seriously, thank you for being honest with me. I know that I don't want to waste your time. I don't need to waste my time, but know that, would you be interested? Then you can, do you know of anybody? Do you know of anybody that would be interested in talking through this? And then if you do, then you can come back to and be like, hey, I talked to this person. They're interested. I know you said you weren't interested, but if we sign you up and put them underneath you, you can get a commission. Then you get 2 people.
One other little thing, that it's always wonderful to tell a story. So if they say 1 or 2, it's really not good. Say, oh, I felt that way too. And you could also say, or I know someone that did, my sponsor, my friend, somebody else in paparazzi that may have said, well, I wasn't really interested either, but I had a friend that really needed some extra money right now, and blah, 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 blah. Or I just didn't have time. I needed some extra money, but I was so swamped and so stressed out, I could not even think of anything. So those type of things too.
While we let Sidarius start getting ready, I'm going to throw in, that reminded me, Eric Worre's got a really good 5 or 6 minute, just short little snippet of a presentation that he did at a live event on talking about how to answer questions and objections and do the exact same thing of the process of telling a story. Oh, if they give you an answer like that, oh my gosh, I totally know what you mean. Because if you say no, or you kind of go against them, the guard is up. So the point is for you to get the guard down, because when the guard's up, we're emotional and we don't think very, very clearly. And our goal, I actually just thought of the analogy just very the other day of this idea of, I'm calling it the snail effect. I know this is kind of really weird, the snail, but when we're emotional, when we're talking to maybe our partners or friends, family, or any type of emotional, we're kind of like a snail in a shell.
Can we say triggered?
When we're triggered, anything, but when the emotion's up, we're in a snail in a shell. And when we're inside the snail, we can't talk very well and it's muffled. And the person talking to us is muffled as well. So we don't understand each other very well. Even though we're speaking, the language is not correct. And sometimes we take it literally. Like me, I'm a guy, I take things a lot literally, right? And when maybe I'm going to use my example of my wife. My wife might be maybe a little emotional and she's talking, she's saying things, but we say things sometimes we don't mean, right? And when we're emotional, we don't think as clearly. So the point is to like help coax them out and help them feel safe until they come out of the shell. Then we can talk to them a little bit differently. So anyways, crazy analogy. I know a little bit of a tangent, but anyways, I'm going to throw this this little YouTube clip from Eric Worre about following up and how to do that in the chat on both. And then while we do that, I'm going to let
On
Sedaria
here
go.
and Facebook?
Yep, on both.
Okay, Sedaria.
Okay. So, yeah. Y'all jump, please, because this is kind of outside of my wheelhouse. But I understand what he said. So yesterday he did mention about doing a blitz with us. So that's what they he was again not live. So they gave us the recording from the previous accelerator one. So this one was about scheduling exposure. So what he did was he took maybe like the first 10 minutes and just explained what he wanted us to do. And then the rest of the time, they were going to spend actually doing or taking action on what he wanted them to do. So we started with that all business is conversation. It all starts with conversation, and that our goal is education. So the way we get the education done is by increasing the conversations or starting conversations and increasing those conversations, which means we need to increase the exposure. So what he meant by exposure would be you're going to have a face-to-face conversation with someone, give them the presentation, maybe introduce them to the jewelry, send them a link to, like you did, Josette, one of the trainings, one of the maybe a opportunity call or a question and answer. Some have really good question and answer videos that we can use. And then he said the way you do that is he wanted you to actually book these appointments with people to see how many they were going to take 50 minutes and book as many appointments as they could. He said to use any of the scripts that we've gone over from like our scripts we got in the social media. We can use any of those scripts, whether it can be your initial, it could be a follow-up. You could use he says you could use your hot market list, whether you can schedule a hot market to ask someone ask for their support, or if that you can practice the presentation on them. You can set up an invite for a Zoom call with them. He said a Zoom coffee. That's what I'm sure it was following COVID during that, or probably during the time of it. He also mentioned about asking them if it's someone maybe that's that you've never talked to before about it, that's maybe not, well, they could be in your hot market. You could ask them if have they ever thought about being in business for themselves, scheduling one-on-ones. So that's pretty much, did I miss anything? I mean, I'm sure I missed couple of little things, suggestions he said of things you could book with them and how, but he did mention sending the tool and using the direct approach or indirect approach on those. Now, I can't exactly remember the indirect approach, but a direct would be, like I mentioned earlier, sending the opportunity call to someone or just directly asking them, if they would like to join the business. And that's pretty much what I got. Zoom meeting, or you could do a one-on-one with them, whether he said, and you could do however, you could do it FaceTime, you could do it in person. Just take some time and just spend a lot of time and just do it. And he said, do it messy. It doesn't have to be perfect, to just do it and not overthink it.
Awesome. Thank you, Sedaria. We're going to be posting a whole list of exposures. And this might be we call it technobabble, a little bit of a different word that we're used to if we're not used to it. And I actually looked up the definition of exposure, and it says the state of being exposed to contact with something. So think of exposure as a way to like let people contact and be in contact with your business. So we have a whole list of exposures, whether that's looking at your social media, like joining you on a live, seeing your jewelry, the videos that Sedario is talking about. So I just kind of wanted to talk about that because that's something I've never thought about, like explaining about exposure. Because sometimes we just talk about exposure and we don't see that like exposure is just about like letting people be in contact with your business and teaching them about the business. Because as people become more aware, then they can make more of a informed decision, or they know more. Because sometimes we make rash decisions, or we just kind of know, we just assume that we think we know about the business when we don't really know. And when we learn about it, then we're like, yeah, well, actually, I like this business now. So
one thing, Sedaria, if I may, the whole premise of this day today was, it was 50 minutes. And the whole premise was take some time right now. So he talked for 10 minutes and he said, okay, take 30 minutes or 40 minutes right now and message people. Either send them a tool, ask them to come and watch you on your live. We have had scripts already, you know, hey, Robbie, thank you for commenting on my post about my cancer journey. And then ask them a question, or go to their personal, or to their personal messenger and say, hey, Robbie, thank you for commenting on this. And then ask them a question. Or also go through your whole phone list. We did that, I don't know, a couple of days ago. Go through your phone list and say, hey, Susie, haven't talked to you for a long time. Are you still alive out there? How are you doing? Just was thinking about you. Okay, and so I was wondering, can we just take 5 minutes and have each of us do that right now? Or do you want to do that later?
Yeah, like
Sedaria, you're kind of in charge. How do you feel about that, sweetie?
We just all work like we're all like go out and work right now, and then we come back and kind of see what happens from it. Does that work?
Okay, it's 1:45, so that's
okay. You got 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Let's see how many different people you can message in 5 minutes. I got to grab my phone. Let's do it.
Okay, I'm setting a timer. So we'll be back in 5 minutes, and then we'll kind of talk about what happened for today and see if anybody has any questions, any comments from there, and anybody on Facebook as well.
How did you do? Somebody put in the chat, how many text messages were you able to get out?
How many did you get out, Mom?
I got 5 text messages out, but I have been returning a text message back and forth to one of them. So that was pretty cool.
Jermaine said 4. Jeanette said she got 4. Hunter said she got
Kim.
7. Oh, Kim got 7. 7, sorry. Struggling. Kim, when they comment on your post, you still comment on the post and then send a private message.
Both.
Yep. You can even just say, "Hey, Kim, thanks so much for the comment. I'll personal message you." Yep.
Yeah. But I would at least comment and say, "Thank you. I'm going to personal message you. Go look for me," because sometimes if you're not friends, it goes to their spam or junk or trash or whatever it is in there. I don't know. There's all this techno babble, but it just let's see, 4 for Florence, 5 for June. Hello, Boyd. Hi, how are you? Let's see, Peyton. Hello.
Karen said, I sent one even though I was just hopping on to see what y'all were up to. Awesome, Karen. Good job. Josetta, crush it. She said you got 25 in one return. Awesome. Awesome.
Good job. She's a fat thumbs.
Awesome, you guys.
So think about this. It's called a blitz. So get with the team member, get with your husband, or your spouse or your companion or your friend, and just say, okay, we got 15 minutes. Let's blitz it. Let's see how much we can get done. Because if I know I've got to message 25 people, it's like, okay, I'll get to it. But if I know I only have 15 minutes or 30 minutes, I got to do as many as I can really quick, then your messenger is going to blow up.
Yeah.
So
even just like helps you to take faster action. Just like Josetta, she sent out 25 in that amount of time. I'm leaving out of town. How much do we get done the day before we go out of town? Right? So there is like studies behind this that when we have a timeline, we work faster. Okay. So if we have this DMO of reaching out to 5 or 10 people every single day, sometimes we push it out or we don't want to do it, but we have accountability and like people that we do it with, we get those things done a lot faster. So like my mom said, blitzes can be in 5 minutes. We just did 5 minutes. We could do it in 15. We could do it hour. We could do it a full day blitz and do that as ideas with your team to kind of spark action.
Right. And if you even just got one, that's perfect. So assignment, may I take this, Sedaria? I'm kind of sorry, I'm taking over for you. Okay. But today was really weird because he only got on for like 2 minutes and they did this 40-minute blitz. So, and we had to jump off in 30 minutes. So if you're okay, Sedaria, I believe that this is what I would like to do is I challenge you today to set aside at least 10 minutes, go in the bathroom, lock the door, turn on the water so nobody else will bug you. You can't hear the kids crying in the other room or husband saying, I want dinner. But take some time that is just your time. I'm sorry, Sedaria. What?
15. Remember, that's what he said. Our time block should be 15 minutes.
15 time blocks.
Excellent. Thank you. 15 minutes. And say 15 minutes, see how many people you can message. But now here's the key. You got to watch them and follow up on them. Because if they send you a message, this is one that I found that was in mine. She's been my friend. She's been my customer for a long time. And she said something about, I might be interested in the business. Can you give me a call like a week ago? And it got lost in my messenger. So I just messaged back and I just said, I'm so sorry. It's taken me so long to reach back out at you. I've been busy all day long and blah, blah, blah. But when can I call you? And she said back, no apologies. I know you've had a lot going on. Let's talk tonight. And she was the one that reached out to me a while ago. I mean, it's like forever ago. So watch your messenger and make sure you get back to them.
Yep.
15 minutes. There's your assignment.
Yep. Good idea, Sedaria. Awesome. Okay, that's our assignment for today. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We will see you guys tomorrow on day 17. Any last words, Sadara, you want to add in?
All business is conversation, and that goes right along with what Frazier would always say, the money's in the messenger.
Yep. Love it.
I love it. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you guys for joining us.
Have a wonderful day. Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.